Now, as you know, I mentioned last week, this energy crisis is not going to go away. And now we've seen the predictable, the new Climate and Energy Minister, Chris Bowen, laying the blame for the gas crisis at the feet of the coalition. Gas, of course, is a fossil fuel. Against that, we have the Federal Resources Minister, Madeleine King, a West Australian, formerly a commercial lawyer, saying at the weekend that as Minister, she will never put a limit on how much coal Australia will export, and that the Albanese government won't negotiate with the Greens over the Greens' push to end coal and gas development. She added that every Labor MP understood the importance of the industry. Well, I'm not sure about that. But she went further to say that coal-fired power generation must step up to help reduce soaring energy prices. But if we hadn't demonised coal, of course, for so many years, and that includes the previous government, we wouldn't be facing soaring energy prices. You will know what she, Madeleine King, the new Federal Resources Minister, means by soaring energy prices when you go down to the letterbox and get your electricity and gas bill. All of this brings me to an article by Bernard L. Weinstein, Emeritus Professor of Applied Economics at the University of North Texas and the former Associate Director of the Maguire Energy Institute at Southern Methodist University. Now, he's writing about weather forecasters in America predicting a long, hot summer for most of the United States with significant implications for the nation's electric power grids. Now, this is what's happening in Australia, except for us, the problem is winter. Now, Professor Weinstein cites the North American Electric Reliability Corporation. It's the regulatory authority that oversees grid operations in America and Canada. And it's warned that the entire West and many areas of the Midwest face, quote, an elevated risk of insufficient electricity supply, unquote. And the corporation overseeing the grid talked about insufficient operating reserves of electricity. Well, he then asks, how did we get here? Because, as he says, when production and consumption increase, the demand for electricity grows. But here's the guts of it. The professor writes, and I quote, the main culprit is the energy transition with its emphasis on weaning the power grid off fossil fuels, unquote. And he quotes the regulatory authority, that's the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, which says, quote, the premature retirement of baseload generating units, such as coal and nuclear plants, combined with the intermittency of wind and solar as power sources, have seriously impaired grid resilience and reliability, unquote. Now, the same regulatory corporation that oversees the operation of the electricity grid had warned way back in 2018, and I quote, an accelerated retirement of coal-fired and nuclear plants could lead to power outages, temporary shortfalls in surplus generation and transmission problems, unquote. Now, remember, the professor is writing on May 24, a little over a week ago, and talking about, quote, significant implications for the nation's electricity power grids.